Okay, 8th graders, we're moving on to section 1.4, integers and absolute value. We're going to go to this section. Your objective today is to be able to compare and order integers and to be able to evaluate expressions containing absolute value. So part of it, we want to be able to compare. Okay, so we're going to use some of those symbols that we're familiar with. Trevor's score is 3 and Julie's score is -2. So you guys should feel pretty comfortable that 3 is greater than -2. The next one, it says list the golfer's score in order from lowest to highest. So the bigger the negative, think of that number line, the smaller the lower the score. So -5, -2, 3, and 4. And I know it still is the lowest score is -5. So the next one, letter C, write the integers in order from least to greatest. So smallest would be -5, -4, 3, 7. Okay? Now, one of your new vocabulary terms today, you should have had probably integer, opposite, and additive inverse, and absolute value. So the additive inverse is what you would add to the number for it to equal 0. So what you add to the number to equal 0. So the additive inverse of of 8 is -8. Of -15 is +15. Of 0 is 0. Now additive inverse is different than absolute value. Absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. So like how far is -9 from 0? Well, it's 9 units from 0. The other thing about absolute value is that it's always positive. So 9 plus 7 is 16. So he wants you to simplify the expression once you solve for the absolute value. If you have absolute value, it's kind of like parentheses. So you do what's inside the parentheses first. So 20 minus 20 is 0. So the absolute value of 0 is 0. Letter I, the absolute value of -8 is 8. The absolute value of 5 is just 5. Because even though it's absolute value, it doesn't make it negative. So 8 plus 5 is 13. And then this one, 17 minus 6 is 11. The absolute value of 11 is still 11. A lot of people think that it's going to be -11, but that's not the case. Okay, so today what you guys are going to be doing is you're just going to be practicing putting those numbers in order from least to greatest, greatest to least. Make sure you read the directions. Finding the additive inverse. Some of this is just new vocab that you need to get acquainted with. And then simplifying the expressions.